Welcome to XIO Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 145. Bing He's expression turned white. His body did not dare to even move a little. He knew that if he dared to make even the slightest unusual movement, his head would be smashed into pieces with a bang, appearing just like a watermelon that had landed on the ground. Bing He's body maintained his pose of being about to climb to his feet. He swallowed a mouthful of saliva. A moment later, he quietly turned around a little and spoke in a hoarse voice. "If you kill me, this pill region will have nowhere that you can hide." Xiao Yan looked down at the pale white face of Bing He from above. However, he merely laughed and said, "Since I have intervened, I am naturally not afraid of whatever ice river valley of yours." Humph, what an arrogant tone. Don't think that you possess the qualification to fight with the Ice River Valley by possessing an 8-star Dozong spiritual body and puppet. My strength is merely ranked among the weakest among the elders of the Ice River Valley. Moreover, even Bing He and Bing Yuan are ranked at the middle. If the true experts from my Ice River Valley come out, the capital that you are proud of will immediately become not even worth mentioning. Even though Bing had sensed that the situation was a little wrong after hearing Xiao Yan's words, he still involuntarily let out a cold laugh. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes. This Ice River Valley was also one of the 3 valleys. It was likely that its strength was not weaker than the Burning Flame Valley. Just the 3rd elder of the Burning Flame Valley alone had the strength of an 8-star Dozong. That 2nd elder had already reached the peak of the Dozong class. Of course, the most frightening person was naturally the Burning Flame Valley's Tang Zhen. Even with Xiao Yan's eyesight, he could only describe Tang Zhen with the words, unfathomable. Although it was extremely difficult for Xiao Yan to accurately determine how strong or weak a Dozun class expert was, his instincts told him that Tang Zhen's strength was definitely even stronger than Lei Zun Jie from the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Since the Burning Flame Valley possessed such strength, the Ice River Valley, which was ranked alongside it, would definitely not be weaker. Hence, Xiao Yan did not doubt what Bing He had said. Before he had come to the Pill region, he had already understood that he would be enemies with the Ice River Valley after rescuing the little fairy doctor. However, with Xiao Yan's character, would he just abandon the little fairy doctor just because of the strength of this Ice River Valley? Back then, when he was merely a small Doge, who had just stepped onto the path of Do-Chi training, he had already dared to oppose the great being of the Jiama Empire. Even less needed to be said now. Bing He looked at Xiao Yan's silence and thought that he had a change of mind. His tone had also become a little calmer as he said, "If you take the initiative to hand the body of that woeful poison lady to the Ice River Valley, my Ice River Valley will definitely not let you lose out. With your talent, you will definitely be placed in an important position by the Valley Chief. It should be known that our Valley Chief loves getting to know experts from all over the place." Bing He's words had just sounded when he saw Xiao Yan's face slowly turn gloomy. Immediately, a chill rose within his heart. His hand slammed against the ground as he hurriedly withdrew with the help of the pushing force. Bang! However, his body had just moved when a cold smile surfaced on Xiao Yan's face. His leg kicked out in a lightning-like manner. It ruthlessly struck Bing He's body. The powerful force caused his body to fly like a kite with a broken string. After which, he heavily smashed into an enormous rock. The sound of bones cracking could faintly be heard. Droplets of cold perspiration continuously surged onto Bing He's forehead as he slowly rolled down from the large rock. He raised his head and his eyes looked at Xiao Yan viciously. He furiously roared, "Little bastard, you will sooner or later regret these actions of yours today." Boom! Bing He's roar had just sounded when a white figure suddenly shot over from the sky. It immediately smashed into the enormous rock beside him. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out. After which, this figure slowly rolled down like a corpse, appearing just like a pile of mud. Bing He hurriedly turned his head and shock immediately surged into his eyes. He could see that the figure was actually Bing Fu. However, his entire body was covered with fresh blood. His breath was extremely weary and he appeared close to death. Oh, it is really troublesome without a body. It is this annoying just to deal with a Dozong. An elderly figure slowly appeared beside Xiao Yan. This person was naturally Tien Huo Zun Jie. He glanced at the mud like Bing Fu and laughed. I really had an enjoyable time beating him up. However, you can rest assured that the old me made sure that he still had a breath left. Xiao Yan nodded. He softly said, "Old Mr. Yao, you can rest assured that the matter of the medicinal ingredients are more or less settled. It is likely that you will be able to soon possess a body once again. A joy that was difficult to hide surfaced on Tien Huo Zunjie's face when he heard this. The matter of his body was something that he had always been concerned about. After hearing these words of Xiao Yan, it seemed that the day would not be far away. Little fellow, you are really reliable. Ha ha, the eyesight of the old me is as good as ever. A glint immediately flickered in the eyes of Bing He when he heard Tien Huo Zunjie's words. This elder, our Ice River Valley specializes in refining bodies. Moreover, the bodies that we create will possess some special ability. As long as you help my Ice River Valley perform one task, you will be able to obtain it for free. The smile on Xiao Yan's face was withdrawn. Dense, cold-killing intent gradually surged within his eyes. Tien Huo Zunjie was also startled because of Bing He's words. He glanced at Xiao Yan. A strange smile appeared on his face a moment later. He slowly walked to Bing He, lowered his body, and slammed his hand gently on his back. He smiled and said, "Do what? We can discuss it. Help the Ice River Valley capture the woeful poison lady. My Ice River Valley can help you refine a body that you will be extremely satisfied with." A wild joy surged over the deep regions of Bing He's eyes when he heard this. Tien Huo Zunjie slowly nodded. After which, his hand gently shifted to Bing He's neck. He also sensed this abruptly and all the pores on his body immediately opened up. He threw a palm toward Tien Huo Zunjie in front of him. Crack! The wind from the palm had yet to reach Tien Huo Zunjie when his expression turned slightly cold. His hand suddenly used some strength and Bing He's neck was broken amid a cracking sound. Little fellow, you should not give such a person the chance to speak in the future. Otherwise, an unexpected change might occur sooner or later. Tien Huo Zunjie randomly tossed aside the ice-cold Bing He before turning his head to Xiao Yan and speaking in a faint manner. Xiao Yan quietly relaxed his tightly clenched fist. He nodded to Tien Huo Zunjie, cupped his hands together, and said, "Thank you for your reminder, old Mr. Yao. The battle on the other side should also be ending." A silver glow immediately rushed out of the mountain stream after his voice sounded. After which, it appeared in front of Xiao Yan. At this moment, the hands of the earth demon puppet held a bloody-faced Bing Yuan. When he saw Bing Fu, who was like a pile of mud, and Bing He with his neck broken, a viciousness immediately shot out of his eyes. He stared intently at Xiao Yan as he said with a hoarse voice, "Little bastard, all of you will not be able to escape." Xiao Yan faintly smiled. He received the seriously injured Bing Fu from the hands of the earth demon puppet. After which, his eyes turned to those disciples from the Ice River Valley. He commanded, "Kill them, leave no one alive." The earth demon puppet immediately flashed out when these words sounded. It charged into the group of Ice River Valley's disciples like a ferocious tiger. Immediately, numerous miserable screams sounded from the edge of this mountain stream. Under the fierce might of this earth demon puppet, only 4 of these Ice River Valley's disciples managed to flee. However, their speed was far inferior to the earth demon puppet. They were all caught after a brief chase. After which, they toppled over like wheat in the hands of the earth demon puppet. The earth demon puppet, which was covered with the scent of blood, finally returned after having killed all the disciples from the Ice River Valley within the shortest amount of time. The spiritual avatar of Xiao Yan also returned along with it. Xiao Yan returned the spiritual avatar to between his eyebrows. After which, he turned his eyes toward the quivering Bing Fu and smiles as he said, "I wish to know something." Bing Fu's eyes stared viciously at Xiao Yan. He did not expect Xiao Yan to be so ruthless. He had killed all of them off. "Little bastard, don't think that the Ice River Valley will not be aware of what has happened here by killing everyone. Just wait, a short while later, you will become the wanted target of the Ice River Valley. At that time, there will not be a single place you can hide in the Pill region." Xiao Yan slightly frowned. He curled his fingers as a wisp of a jade-green flame slowly rose. After which, it was gently pressed on Bing Fu's shoulder. A wave of chi-chi sounds was immediately emitted from where Xiao Yan's fingers landed. Bing Fu's face had also become distorted from the intense pain. "I wish to know what that Ice Zune force is you mentioned earlier." Xiao Yan withdrew his finger after watching Bing Fu's distorted face and demanded an answer. Bing Fu's eyes were vicious. He completely ignored Xiao Yan's words. Xiao Yan's face was indifferent. His finger pressed onto Bing Fu once again without saying anything. Kai! White smoke rose and Bing Fu's entire body shook. His face had become unusually savage because of the intense pain. Xiao Yan slowly withdrew his finger and indifferently demanded, "Speak." Bing Fu's breathing had become ragged. A moment later, he finally clenched his teeth and said with a hoarse voice, "Ice Soon Force is a unique Do Chi of my Ice River Valley. One must reach the Do Zong class in order to create it. If this Ice Soon Force enters one's body, it will quietly conceal itself and gradually freeze the blood and veins in one's body. How can it be undone? There is no method to undo it unless you get the Valley Chief of my Ice River Valley to personally do it. However, I don't think that you are capable of that." Bing Fu let out a dense laugh. Xiao Yan's eyes turned icy cold. He ignored him and nodded slightly to Tien Huo Zun Jie. After which, he turned around and walked away. He had just taken a few steps when he heard a bone-cracking sound being emitted from behind. "These are their souls. Keep them." Xiao Yan grabbed the 3 jade bottles that shot over from behind him. He glanced at them and stored them in his storage ring. After which, he swiftly walked to the little fairy doctor. He involuntarily felt his heart ache when he saw her pale white face. He softly said, "Let's leave this place first. I will think of a way to deal with the so-called Ice Soon Force." The little fairy doctor gently nodded. Her pretty eyes looked at the young man in front of her. Within less than a year, he seemed about to catch up with her. Xiao Yan extended his arm, grabbed the little fairy doctor's tiny waist. After which, he got the earth demon puppet to bring Xin Lan, who was hiding in one corner. His body moved and he swiftly rushed toward the deeper regions of the fallen god stream. The surroundings of this mountain stream immediately became quiet after Xiao Yan's group left. Only the corpses and fresh blood all over the place gave an indication of the intense battle that had erupted at this spot earlier.